The officers and staff of the OSCE's Community Security Initiative have brought a new vision to Kyrgyzstan, one not simply about policing, but about rebuilding relations in communities which still bear the scars of conflict. By gaining the trust of local partners, by helping the police reach out to marginalised groups such as women and minorities, the CSI have helped make Kyrgyzstan a safer and more democratic place. In the summer of 2010, southern Kyrgyzstan experienced waves of inter-ethnic violence, exposing deep divisions within society, which the government and police had great difficulty in addressing. After the violence subsided, the government turned to the OSCE for help, and the Community Security Initiative was born. Unarmed police advisors were sent to troubled areas, and efforts began to reconcile those communities and address the root causes of the conflict.
Currently, the CSI operates in 15 different regions of the country. 14 police stations in the south, and 2, although actually one is only active, in the north at the moment, in the Choy Valley.
They're multi-ethnic areas, especially in the south, post the 2010 events. There was a need for, again, to build up the capacities of the police in terms of getting to know how to interact with diverse communities.
Ну, если брать образно, после трагических событий 2010 года взаимодействие местной милиции и населения очень отдалилось. И проект инициативы общественной безопасности проявил очень большую роль по возвращению доверия граждан после Орских событий.
Since 2011, we introduced not only community policing principles in police stations, and we have our advisors effectively working directly in police stations together with their Kyrgyz counterparts, working on the towns, working in the regions in the countryside, and going out to visit those people that have been worst affected. We augmented that relationship by providing mobile police reception centres, vehicles which were designed as, if you like, mobile police stations, but places that were not like a police station in the sense that people could approach them as an office, as a place where they could informally talk to police about issues which perhaps they would not, otherwise not do.
Вот этой передвижной приемной в этом и заключается, чтобы граждане с нами общались, шли на диалог, они чтобы не пугались, что рейд там будет задерживать, чтобы вот этих понятий у людей не было, чтобы они понимали, что могли бы вот легко подойти к нам, обращаться к любым вопросам.
Basically, they're a mobile office with the idea that the neighborhood inspector, the local police officer, will go out to distant areas, diverse communities, and bring policing to them so that the public knows that the police care about their issues, that they want to respond to their issues in kind. It's a great feedback mechanism.
Вот последние события, да, вот 2010 года, окончательно, да, милиция потеряла авторитет среди населения. Вот такие проекты по возможности легче, да, дойти до людей, объяснить им.
CSI officers and staff work closely with local crime prevention councils. They hold considerable sway in dealing with local matters.
The local crime prevention councils is a legal mechanism here in Kyrgyzstan based on the 2005 law. We have currently 125 LCPCs which are active and which are engaged with our advisor and our staff members.
Себеби дегенде мурда мындай иштер болгон эмес. Мына масса менен аралашып элдин суроосун угуп демократичный болуп атат да, эл өзүнүн көйгөй маселесин айтып атат.
And within that council there are representatives of the what we call the OSCE Court, which is an elders court of the community, a women's committee and a youth committee. Now, when you think about it in your own local community, those are pretty strong stakeholders to get involved with.
Ел менен милиция менен элдин ортосунда тыгыз байланышта болуп, элдер деле бизге жакыныраак болуп, элге көп эле жардам тийип атат да бул программа боюнча. Биз рахматыбызды айтып, азычыбызды билдирип кетет эле, мындан кийин деле чогуу иштешкенге биз даярбыз.
Кайсыл убакта болду мурда милицияга кайрылган койчу кереги жок деген ойлор бар эле. Кийинки биздин баягы түшүндүрмөлөрдөн кийин сиздердин ошо проекттин программасы боюнча эл ишеним көрсөтө баштады милиция менен.
In the period of 3 years, we have now donated a total of 18 mobile police reception centres. The response to that has been dramatic and considerable. In a month alone, we have had more than 2,000 visitors, bringing not only complaints to the police about criminal acts, but simply questions about their social needs. Such things as, where do I get my tax form? How do I get my goods delivered to town so I can actually live and sell my wares? Gone are the days when citizens, particularly those of ethnic minorities, were reluctant, in fact, afraid to approach police officers for fear that it might cost them either money or perhaps expose them to some form of retribution.
So my job is to help the police gain that trust with the community again, with a main focus of human rights, and to build that bridge between the police and the community. It's pertinent, it's very important, because the community get to see, as well as the police, that the police officer is a part of the community.
While Kyrgyzstan is politically liberal for the region, it remains socially conservative. Arranged marriages are common, and women who find themselves at risk of domestic violence often have few options. The Women's Crisis Centre in Yerevan is a local initiative which has been strongly supported by the CSI.
Биздин району өтө көп улуттуу район. Бул жерде районубузда кыргыз, өзбек, орус, татар жана башка улуттагы өкүлдөр элдер жашайт. Биринчиден бул борборго ар түрдүү маселелер менен аялдар келип өздөрүнүн үйдөгү проблемаларын айтышат. Биздин менталитетте аялдар баягы зордук зомбулукка учураган аялдарыбыз көп учурунда өзүнүн проблемаларын айтышпайт.
OSCE has met with the head of Women's Crisis Center, local women, to hear their issues and concerns, and to make sure the local police are aware of these concerns, especially when it's related to law enforcement. And we are here to make sure that women, as well as minorities, have a voice, and their issues and concerns are heard.
Ne üçün gerek bolğunu sebep birinciden milisakanada bizim ayal kişiler özünü komfortlu eseptebeydi. Sebep o yerde barsan bar milisakana bulkak o yerde buların oy boyunca karangı yer, bular üçün jalan erkekler işlegen üçün olarga kıyın da, psikologik jaktan kıyın. Ekинчиден bu administratsiyada bolgonuna байланыштуу bu yerde kengiri özünün içindeki nerselерин hem айтып берет да. Ал жашырбай, болбой, эмне кылбай ошол үчүн.
According to traditions, what people are practicing here, local women they usually cannot report about their problems at home about the violence what they face at home to police. So the purpose of the center was to serve to these women who are not addressing to police their issues, to serve to these women and support them. Local women usually feel free to come there and to tell about their issues, about their problems.
Manager is one of 15 national staff who accompany CSI officers on patrol.
The national staff member is the glue. They understand the culture, they know the people within the community, they can better advise the police officer on how to let's say, direct their lessons learned and best practices in a proper manner within the community.
The problem here in Kyrgyzstan is the structural issue, the issue of management of the police, the crime rate reduction, crime rate solution, let me first say, is the most important segment of assessing the professionalism of a police officer. And sometimes police officers, they try to get the substantial evidence from the temporary detainees in a forceful way, which is very unfortunate. And it is directly linked to torture. And it's definitely a physical torture problem, and also it's the psychological torture of the temporary detainee is a growing trend, because people are already aware about their rights of not being tormented. But there's another way, it's a psychological threat. Of course, the police investigator can influence the person to get a confession that he did or she did this. However, it's very difficult to get a statistics if the person is psychologically tormented. However, the reports of Ombudsman, reports of National Centre for Prevention of Torture is an obvious sign of it. And another hot topic is rights of women and rights of children, especially like forced labor or just a labor when underage kids are used for agricultural work, etc.
In the far west of the country, one CSI officer is working with local police to stop underage employment.
The bazaar is the largest workplace in Isfana, and this children labor is a problem in this town. We have groups of children that following the way of behavior of the life of their parents, that do not believe that education will be important, and they decided that their children will stop education and they will work from this age. So this is a problem. We not only accompany during those preventive actions checking. Every week we have the meetings in the schools. We organize meetings, actions, trainings, and under the different ideas, but every time is included the explanation how the education is important in their life, how it can bring them better future. We try to prevent, we try to advise, we try to protect, yes. And last month we revealed some children, they were working without any adult supervision. So they were exposed to become a victim, almost as an accident or even crime.
We have been supporting the local police by offering training in various aspects of policing, not only human rights and ethical policing, but also the principles of community-based policing, how to relate to a multi-ethnic society, how to respond to the more difficult problems, the more intractable problems that communities that have faced this kind of upheaval have to face. As a direct result, we have formal training too, not only on-the-job training, if you will. In-service training we do too, in a school that we've established in Osh, which is the largest town in the south.
Здесь, как я сказал, проходит в Центре квартальной полиции у нас различные семинары, тренинги, которые мы проводим сами при непосредственном содействии ОБСЕ или по инициативе ОБСЕ для сотрудников не только нашей школы, но всего южного региона, иногда в масштабах всей республики.
I'm personally involved in service training on community policing and multi-ethnic policing. I am involved in elective lessons for police cadets. To make it more sustainable, I conduct this training together with a police instructor and also with instructors of professional police detachment in regional police HQs. Now we see that police officers change their attitude to their work, they now understand that they should protect local society and work together with local society to get more effective results.
Our colleagues in the police service are motivated, there is no doubt of that. They're certainly capable and well-trained police officers. And they're beginning to have a greater deal of respect from across the community. This, of course, will be certainly augmented considerably when the Kyrgyz police become a truly multi-ethnic police service. And indeed, we're trying very hard to support them in that goal, and also to increase the number of police women serving within the service. In particular, again, across the ethnic divide, so that we have a properly representative group of police serving the community in which they live. Together, we're having a huge impact, and one only has to visit the small villages that the mobile police reception centres are able to reach, hitherto inaccessible places where the police seldom, if ever, visited, to note that we are having success.
Егер де ушул проектти дагы улантып берсеңиздер, биздин элдер милиция менен баягы жакшы ишенимге ээ болуп келатат. Мындан ары дагы ошол ишенимге биз сиздердин проекттин жардамы менен дагы чыңдайбыз деп мен ойлойм да. Менин ниетим ушундай.